Good morning. It's Friday Focus. It's the 27th of August. I hope you're all well and looking forward to the bank holiday weekend. As long as everything's gone all right, I will be on my way back from France today and having had a lovely week away. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about is your small business losing money and the 7 little known reasons why it might be happening. These are really important. You've been wondering why your revenue and your profit seem to be on a decline. It's not always necessarily about the number of clients that you've got. Losses in business are fairly common, but some business owners tend to attribute them solely to inefficient sales and marketing. However, that is not the only way a small company can lose money. Here are some of the lesser known reasons why your bottom line might not be as high as you might want it to or expect it to be. So, not negotiating with your vendors. Vendors' costs directly affect a company's profit. A good deal with a vendor today may not stand up to the test of time. So, an internal audit or market analysis can indicate whether a company is paying vendors above the market average. And also, there may be vendor-related expenses that you may be overlooking. Number 2 is bad pricing. Talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's really important to get your pricing sorted. And I had a client a couple of weeks ago who she put her prices up, but she basically, every time she spoke to a potential new client, she reduced those prices again because it made her feel happier, made her feel safer. And we were talking about money blocks that might be blocking her to accepting that she can charge higher prices. And it's a really, really tough thing. It's a real behavior issue, mindset issue, more than, well, I'm just going to put the prices up and that's it. How does it make you feel if you're going to put the prices up? I know how it makes me feel. It makes me feel absolutely petrified. And then now all those little voices go into your head that, oh, I'm not worth it. I can't do this. I'm not offering enough to my clients. And so therefore you overcompensate. Anyhow, bad pricing is vital to get your pricing right to maximise your profits. Both overly high and low pricing, believe it or not, can put a dent in a small business's revenue and profit. Customers and clients have to feel like they're getting great value. Value is the operative word here in return for their payment. If a company's not making much money or enough money, it's often a good idea to evaluate the pricing strategies to see exactly where they are. Accounting issues, obviously, I have to come up with one of those, don't I? It's customary for small businesses to handle all the accounting in-house, but it's also common practice for them to pick an accountant based on the most attractive offer. Never mind the accountant's experience and the value that they bring. However, poor accounting services can lead to losses. Whether it's handling of expenses, taxes, invoices, or something else, doesn't matter what it is. Questionable accounting can bleed small business dry. You need to be really, really careful that you are not bleeding your business dry due to the way that you're doing accounting. So if you're trying to save money by not doing bookkeeping things yourself, you actually might make more money by using a professional bookkeeper to make sure that everything is done correctly and up to date and in the correct way. Because if you're not treating those invoices or expenses or tax or whatever correctly, then you will be losing money. So the next one is not investing in the business. Investing is an essential driver for all growth. No companies can exist without without reinvesting some sort of part of their profit. This is why when we do profit first, when we do our distributions on a quarterly basis, we take out 50% of whatever's in our profit pot. That 50% is for us, for our reward for running our businesses so brilliantly, or just running our businesses. But the other 50% sits there so that you can reinvest it in the business. And this is really, really important, because if you don't reinvest in your business, you're not going to grow. There are quite a lot of different ways that you can put your money to good use, such as marketing to new customers, creating new products, hiring better employees, expanding the online presence that you've got at the moment, and improving services and processes. Now, a lot of those will cost money, but if you are investing in the business, it's likely to increase your profit as well. Small businesses that don't put any money into these things will almost always have a difficulty and problem sustaining any growth. High employee turnover rate. This is quite important. Careful analysis of your workforce can uncover insights into why small businesses might be losing money. Employee turnover is always costly. What with the money spent on training, breaking continuity, having to set the whole thing up all over again, your accountant will charge you probably for setting up a new employee, etc. Sorting out all of the boring hassles of taking them off auto enrollment and then putting a new person back on, training that person up to be doing what you're wanting the first person to do did that actually they weren't doing properly, so then you've got to train them up in a different way. It's all such a hassle, and it costs. It costs a lot of money to employ people, and a lot of employers don't understand exactly what those monthly costs are going to be, whether that's employers' national insurance, whether that's the time that it takes somebody to deal with all of the pay slips and therefore then send everything through to HMRC, make sure that their auto enrollment is sorted, etc. But also the actual cost of running that employee is something that needs to be really taken into consideration. And on the employee rate, what I would also suggest is that you look at outsourcing. Avoiding outsourcing can be a big problem as far as losing money in your business. It's not necessary to do all of the work in-house. So if you've got an in-house bookkeeper, then that's absolutely fine. If you haven't, or they're not working properly for you, then go outside. Go and find someone outside. If you've got an admin person who's not working for you, don't keep them. Get rid of them and go outsourcing. Outsourcing for VAs, outsourcing for admin, outsourcing for bookkeeping, outsourcing for marketing, outsourcing for selling. Doesn't matter what you do. Use one of the companies. I use for doing all my connections for LinkedIn and Facebook. I use a guy through Upworks who is unbelievable. He is so fast. He is so efficient. He can do things a million times better than I can as far as that's concerned. And not only that, I've actually got him 3 more jobs through connections that I have as well. So he's now prepared to do even more for me, which is fabulous. And because he's being paid through Upworks, it sounds a little bit meaningless, but you pay them an awful lot less than you would because they're in India or the Philippines or Singapore or wherever they happen to be. But then probably almost definitely not in the UK. There are people in Upworks who are in the UK though as well. But benefits of outsourcing are not limited to big corporations. Anybody can use this. Anybody can use an outsourcer to do any work that they want to. And actually, the level of expertise that they have is just unbelievable. I have recently started outsourcing through a company to do a lot of my limited company accounts because it's incredibly straightforward for me to do it, but it takes up my time. I'd rather pay for somebody else to do it. The 2 girls who have taken over doing them, they both have PhDs in accounting. Now that's more than me. They've got 5 years experience and 7 or 8 years experience. I can't remember which one it is. And they are super dedicated to you, to what you need. They understand, because I've been working with them for the last 3 months, they understand how I tick, they understand what they need to do for me, etc., which is, as far as I'm concerned, is absolutely brilliant. And also it leaves me free to do the things that I want to do, i.e. the mentoring and the coaching side of things, because it makes much more sense. So the next point is bad resource management. It's often overlooked areas, resource management. Besides time and money, resources such as printer paper, office supplies, software can affect that bottom line really badly. Overpaying for stuff and theft can lead to hugely unwanted expenses. So you need to keep a really, really close eye on this. Who are you using for your office supplies, your printer paper, etc., etc.? Look at your subscriptions for your software. Are they the best ones for you? Could you go somewhere else? Would it be counterproductive to go somewhere else because you've got to go through all the training for you, for your staff, etc., etc.? Or would it be better to stay with the same people but try and get the costs reduced? Evaluating your business more often. This is my final point. This is just critical. Okay, it's really, really critical to have a really good handle on those numbers, on what those numbers actually mean in your business. Because if you don't, then you're never going to really know where you are in your business. Again, I was working with a client a couple of weeks ago, and it was our second session, but it was our first proper session after I'd taken over doing everything. We got everything from previous accountants, we got everything up to date and sorted. And she was like, do you know what? These meetings are like gold dust. I can focus for the first time on what I am actually doing in my business without thinking, oh, I must pay this, I've got to do that, I've got to do the other. Because I know that it's all taken care of, it's all sorted, and I feel so safe. And I feel so happy and so focused on what I'm doing in my business that actually I'm okay. I'm really okay. I feel so supported by you and your team by what you're doing. That is what we want. That is exactly what we want. We will pull out every stop to support and look after all of our clients. It makes no difference who you are. It doesn't make any difference if you're making a £20,000 income or whether you're making a £20 million income. It makes absolutely no difference. The only difference it makes is the fact that the amount of work that we have to put into it. But it's the most rewarding thing in the world, which is why I outsource. It is just unbelievable the joy that I get seeing my clients saying, oh my God, look at this profit I've made. Look at the money that I've put aside. I've paid my tax already and we're only in June. Isn't it fantastic? Or whatever it happens to, it doesn't matter. It's just unbelievable. But if you don't evaluate your systems and your processes and your numbers more often than you're doing at the moment, then you're not going to know where you are in your business. That's the final word I have on that. I hope that has been helpful for you. Anyone who would like any support or help, then please do contact me. I'm always here to help, and have a fabulous weekend, long weekend. Bye.